What? Send data. Throw pros. All right. We are still trying to send data to Facebook. Hey, all right. We're streaming on all the things now.
Okay.
Nice. All right. We'll get a handful of people in here, I think, and then we'll start talking, or start doing the thing. I did not find that other Japanese snack thing. Only
Oh, I never looked.
only the corn one. I did find one of the Kit Kats, and then I've had a Canadian Kit Kat hanging around still. As you're joining us, hit us up in the chat so we know that it's not just us watching.
All right, let me pull up Restream over here.
Hey, we almost to
A person?
the magic number to get started. Did you share it out to Facebook?
I did.
Sweet.
Uh,
Hi, Sam.
let's do it.
Nice of you to join us today. All right. We are going to go ahead and get things started as soon as I flip my stream deck on. I forgot to turn on. And we'll go ahead and get started. We'll see you guys here in just a sec.
Warning. The following podcast episode is a couple of the same old jerk-offs talking about happenings in the axe-throwing world. It is meant to be informative, but can sometimes be downright boring. If you get bored, that's okay. You can stop watching, because someone else might find this informative. The opinions discussed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of our peers or any axe-throwing organization. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Sit Your Axe Down. I'm Kyle, got Lucas over there. This is actually episode 26. This is going to be us talking about 2025, our first impressions, some events that are coming up, and whatever you guys want to talk about. So, let's kick things off.
So you threw one league night, right?
One league night so far, yep. Not too bad. Wish I would have thrown a little better, but for not throwing for a couple weeks, not too bad. I'd thrown a couple of like small little things. I think we talked about on the last episode, like little cash things at the venue. But yeah, first league night is good. I think that pretty much everybody in our league who had previous data, we have a couple new members. I think everybody, primarily went up, which I think was to be expected.
Went up like in rating?
I ain't trusting that damn thing to save anybody's life, but definitely went up in average score. So.
Yeah, but did you mean they went up in rating, or what did you mean?
No, just up in average score.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if you meant like they went up like per kill shots.
Yeah, I mean rating, whatever. I don't until whatever they do to fix it to make sure that it works flawlessly and as intended. I don't really care about it.
Yeah, really sucks that I went and threw a marathon before they had tested it more,
Yeah.
because now it was just a waste of like 20 game. I mean, my rating went up from where I started,
Right.
but my rating also would have gone up probably significantly more if it was fixed, because I hit the cap at like game 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So
I have no idea what was going on with mine or what is going on with mine. I mean, we'll see, I guess, this week if there's any changes. But I mean, we talked personally about um, the rating. I don't know um, how it functions properly or what it's intended to do, but I don't think that it works. I made those points known in the last affiliate meeting as well, and I didn't really get a clear answer to the questions that I stated after I told him that the math doesn't math correctly. And
yeah,
I did send them like a small case study of my week this week um, compared to John's, because we were so close in rating to start and in what we threw this past week.
yeah,
And I literally just got like a can't really give you an answer unless I dig into each game and each throw between everybody that participated in both, and I was just
yeah,
like, it shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't have to
yeah,
do all that work. Like it's just baffling to me.
yeah.
Just so you guys
After
have a little better idea of what I'm talking about, I'll just give you a rundown of what I'm talking about. So this past week, in my 4 matches, I threw a total score of 221, 6 out of 8 kills. I threw against 4 throwers in my league. All of them are amateur in classification, and they hold an average rating of all 4 of them of just under 400. And I started with an 803.01 rating, and I finished with an 803.05 rating, an
ooh,
increase of
good job,
zero
man.
point zero 0.04 points. And the person that I
To
mentioned earlier,
to be
John.
fair, you did throw before they supposedly fixed things.
Correct. That's why I mentioned earlier. Like maybe we'll see if it changed. However, the person that I'm going to compare it to through um, the same night as me
Yeah,
finished with a 222, so 1 point higher, same amount of kills, 6 out of 8. I think I actually had one more 8 than he had though, but he had a few more bullseyes than me or something. But he threw 222, so 1 point higher, same amount of kills. However, he threw against 2 pros, and I threw against 4 AMs. So he threw 2 pro, 2 AMs. Average rating was 511, so 111 points higher essentially. Average rating between the 4 people he threw. But he went from he started with 810 and finished getting stuck at that 900 cap that was in there.
yeah,
So roughly a 90-point increase, where I increased 0.04 for essentially the exact same throwing ability. So one of the questions I asked was like, it just doesn't seem that like the rating system is not that it's unfair. It's just not fair from a standpoint that if that is its intended function, what happened there last week, which may not be because it obviously wasn't working from what they were saying. But if its intended purpose is to really affect you that much if you are not throwing against pro throwers, that's something that not
yeah,
every league can control. Like in our league, it's just me and it's just Brian, and that's it. And it wouldn't be fair for us to just throw matches against each other either, because we're going to hurt ourselves as much as we're going to help ourselves, because we'll probably have a decent split of who wins and who loses. So we'll hurt ourselves some days and help ourselves others, and that'll be it. So
yeah. I mean, it's definitely going to be um, something that changes based on the how your league is. You know,
Yeah,
if your league has more AM or more pro or whatever, that's going to change kind of what your rating can be.
correct.
Uh,
Which is I understand that. It's just hard to think that that is a good representation of like, especially like how are we using rating? If we're using it for seeding, it's not a good representation of like skill level.
no,
So
there's definitely some flaws with the idea of doing it that way for sure.
right.
Um, but it is what it is, I guess.
But yeah, I also understand your situation with the marathon league, especially with Masters of Axes coming up. Like you got
Yeah,
stuck in that 900, you know, black hole in like game 6 or so. So like you couldn't really do anything after
yeah. I
that
mean,
at all.
I could have just left. I mean, the other thing is like, I mean, it helped everybody else, right? Because I won
Right.
I won all my games, and so if I had beat those people, my rating I assume would have gone higher. I'm not sure.
It
I guess
also
I
would,
can't.
I think, affect their rating as well because
Right,
you,
it would have made theirs go lower,
right.
probably. I mean, I guess I don't know that for a fact, but I think it would have made theirs go lower, and then so everybody got a jump, a boost. I don't know.
Look at the chat in this window. There we go. I don't have to lean over.
Yeah. I also saw that the leaderboard didn't update today, which was weird. It normally updates every Monday,
Oh, it didn't update. I know that
unless it was
the
later on.
qualifiers leaderboard did because I checked to see
You know,
where our throwers that were last night were. They got added to the leaderboard.
yeah, it still shows everybody on week one. So if you had league on Sunday, last Sunday, and then you had it again, it hasn't updated with. I mean, there it still just shows four. I guess maybe there's somebody on here that has eight that isn't on the first page, but I doubt it.
Sure. Yeah, there's all. I mean, there were people up there that are up there right now who threw in leagues on Sundays last week. So yeah, I don't think it updated.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I know that I threw a marathon, so my week two stats should theoretically
Should
be
be
up there.
populated right now. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe that's part of the new rating system.
Yeah,
Maybe it's like
I
secret.
I assume that there was testing done because we were told there was testing done. And I do believe that at some point there was some testing done, but
I
I
think
think
the testing might not have been on actual matches. Maybe it was just like
just on
punching in numbers.
data. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking too. Like maybe
But
they built the calculator thing and they tested it there and it worked, but somewhere between that step and actual implementation, something either got miskeyed, which is possible. I mean, it's all software, all code somewhere.
yeah,
So
sorry if I'm not paying attention. I'm packing these, so if anybody didn't order a staple but wants to, I could pack it right now.
look at that.
Yeah,
ChickenTenderGang.com. Get your
yeah,
2025 stencils now.
yeah. So finishing packing up some of these. I think I have to cut a few more. Um, ship those.
So, Marcia says that she's in a league this season of 31 people, 3 pros, the rest are amateur. Yeah, I think that leagues where there are is everybody else, Marcia, is everybody else an amateur, or do you have some rec throwers sprinkled in there too? But what I was going to say was I feel like leagues that do have like a heavy number of throwers in terms of overall size, where there's a massive offset of pro to amateur. Um, I feel like those pros are just in a unlucky situation when it comes to trying to increase
Yeah,
their rating to benefit for seeding.
it'll also work out. Like if somebody goes to a tournament, like those matches are going to be
Yeah.
matches that go towards their rating and stuff. So I mean, there could be changes, and maybe yours was just some fluke. I did. I don't. I don't know for sure these numbers or if things are changing, but yeah, Jake was one of the first ones to make it over 900 because I guess he threw at the right time after they adjusted things, and then Dalton Wilson also made it over that. But during the marathon, I noticed that several people got stuck at 550. And I found out that those are pro throwers that unfortunately reached the bottom threshold. There is um, a, a floor that you won't. If you're a pro, you cannot drop below a 550 rating.
Why?
So
Why?
I don't know. But then my question is, what happens season two? So if you're a pro and you made it to 550, are we eventually going to run out of amateurs?
Yeah. Do you not have people getting, I mean, relegated essentially?
Yeah, is there no demotion? I don't know. But yeah, that was an interesting thing. I'm not sure exactly what happens in between seasons. So if you're if you got bumped or if you just didn't have to submit a thing, which I'm not sure very many people got approved, but maybe they did and they just haven't complained. But for those that were in the 550 to 600 and they selected to be advanced or pro rather, and then they don't throw at a pro ability or however it works, and that rating hits the floor of 550, I guess they still stay. They're still within the thing, so they can choose. Or is it 550 to 600 gets dropped? Or
It
I don't
seems
know.
strange because, like you said, at some point, because we did this, we did the math before the 2024 rules went into effect. Like, we're going to get back to a point where there's probably a consistent, what was it before, like 2 point increase. It was half a
Oh,
half a
every
half a
season.
point increase every season, so two
Yeah.
points over a 1 year span that we saw previous to 2024. It's probably going to get to that, and it might increase maybe a little more exponential at the start of this, just because of newer throwers um, who were maybe very new at the end of 2023 or going into 2024. So you could see a big exponential jump, but like at some point you would think you would run out of amateurs, especially when it comes to throwers who travel to tournaments.
Yeah, that's I think where you're going to see the biggest change. So the amateur throwers that were traveling to tournaments are now throwing pro,
Yeah,
most of them. And the ones that aren't are trying to. And I think that if they're throwing seasons, they're going to get bumped up to pro after season one. So that's not going to leave a lot of people to throw in AM tournaments
right.
after, season two or three. So yeah, I don't know. I think there's still a lot of questions. I don't think everybody, I don't think anybody knows the answers yet. Because I think, the questions are just going to keep popping up. And so they haven't been asked yet. Um, and I don't know if they have an answer for it, even if asked currently.
Yeah, I wonder the tournament part. I think could potentially be an issue like mid year.
I think it might already. I mean, even this season, like the one that's supposed to happen Saturday. Last I heard, now I'm sure that the numbers have changed. This was a week or so ago, but there were like 6 times more people in the pro than AM, and there weren't a ton in either one. Um,
How does
so
that affect the prize pool? Because isn't there a
it's
swing
it's
in
very good for the
percentage?
it's really good for the amateurs. The less people there, the higher their percentage.
And that takes away from the other.
I mean, it doesn't end up taking away because it's still a split of more than 50% or whatever.
Sure.
But it but it starts to pool. Like if they were separated, it does start to take. So Tyler had made the calculator with the percentages or has one, and it is like the less amateurs, the better it is for the AMs. Obviously, gives them a better chance of winning and increases the percentage of the split between pro and AM.
I
But
wonder if is does let's see here how many people we got. We got
like 20.
quite a few. Does Vinny happen to be on here?
I doubt he is, but I can message him.
Yeah.
Why? Do you just want to know how many people
Yeah, I'm just
or what?
interested to know how many people
I messaged him earlier,
like that,
so
or what the hatchet split is. Like, I don't necessarily just
yeah.
just to benefit our conversation potentially. Let's see. I was right. So
All right, I messaged him. See what he says.
did you see
Uh,
Jake's last message?
Yeah, I saw a lot of people that threw a marathon the first day. So if you threw on Saturday, the first day of the league, there were a lot of people that got stuck at 900 at some point, which I wasn't like watching live, but I saw. I could tell that a few people got there because their whatever marathon they were at did not throw a week 8, so they got stuck at 900. But then there must have been a calculation issue in the tournament rating version because the people
Because it's
that
separate.
threw, yeah, I guess I don't know
It
if it's
it
different.
shouldn't be
It
separate, but
should be the same thing, but I think the issue is that it didn't account for best out of 3. And so for some reason it didn't know how to calculate a loss of a game versus a loss of a match correctly or something like that is my guess, because a lot of people drop down to like the 300s, like with just like 1 or 2 games in their week 8. There were a bunch of people, and then a day or two later I saw a bunch of them get kind of fixed, I guess, to some extent. But then if those people that were at 900 have thrown again, then they are now over.
it seems like a logic issue on the back end.
um, yeah, I don't know, but I think that part got fixed. Or if it didn't, I know that our marathon that we threw on Sunday, which I don't think they had made any updates between Saturday and Sunday, but we did a single limb, single game, and all of our um, all of ours stayed the same. There was no issue. I think it was because we only were throwing against that person one time.
Sure.
But I don't know for sure if that's the case or not. Okay, so it's not quite 6 times anymore. They've had a few more signed up. Um, it's right now there are 9 AMs and I guess 25 open, somewhere around there. 9 and 26 or something like that.
Okay.
So when I had asked before, I think it was like 4 and 24. So gotten 7 or 8 more. Um, I know of at least one more AM going. I don't think he signed up. I
And what we're referring to is the first WATL Regional of
correct.
this year. That's the Masters of the Axes in Augusta. That's this weekend. Registration ends Thursday, I believe
I'm
is what.
told.
Yeah, the 16th, I think,
And
is what.
yeah, And so, yeah, looking forward to throwing. But yeah, rating has been interesting this first week. So
Quick
interested
question.
to see.
So,
Yeah,
this weekend again, there's supposed to be another winter weather event that kind of dips through that I think is gonna
yeah, I saw that.
affect us in some way. Um, Hopefully, it doesn't affect Augusta. That's what happened the last time, except it wasn't a winter weather; it was a hurricane. Hurricane, right? Yeah, yeah, hurricane. So hopefully, knock. Dang, I
I think it'll be fine.
don't have any
Um,
real
so
witnesses for
Marcia
it.
asked about it. If there was more AMs than pros registered in a tournament, the pool would slide slightly in the AM's favor, but it's capped. And um, I don't know if that's the case. I didn't pay enough attention to the new split or percentages, but I would be shocked if that ever happened. I just don't think there are enough AMs that travel. I mean, maybe there would be something at like a local tournament where, maybe they're about the same or similar. I think at that point, the local tournament probably should just do
I think that
one
once again, that's
bracket.
another instance that we'll have to see throughout the year that could change based on the throwers that if they start doing we start to get a lot that are going above the 550 threshold.
Yeah, but I don't think that we'll see more AMs by any means at any tournament than open.
Right.
Other than maybe some weird instance of a local tournament where there really shouldn't be an open version. If there's only one open thrower, they should just all throw open type of thing.
Um, are you in the certified judges group?
Am I? I am.
You are.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you a link.
Okay. Can you just tell me the post?
Maybe
I probably already saw it.
it's Jason. I think it is Jason Bench, or it might be
Yeah.
Bingy.
Yeah, the
Um,
person that posted yesterday.
sure.
He
Yep.
shared it in two groups.
About
Yeah.
the judging for national tournaments. Did you see that?
Yes. And I did not go back and reread the rules, so I'm not positive what the difference was.
I'm.
Um,
Oh, this is a different version than what I just saw a few minutes ago. Because what I saw a few minutes ago had a lot more comments. Do you know where else he posted it?
yeah, there's two. It was in I think it was just in the discussion or in the knife group or owners group or I think it was just the discussion group had one
Let's see. It was
because he posted it two places.
15 hours ago. That's probably why I didn't scroll down far enough. Let's
Um,
see. I was curious. There we go. There it is. I wanted to see some of the comments to see because that was one of the things that we had potentially when it came to like hosting any WATL events this year because of that rule that talked about having to have certified judges on every lanes or on every lane, and in addition to like not being able to run the events, but didn't know if the comments really got into the fact that like most tourneys might not be able to fulfill that.
yeah, I was trying to see prize pool. I'm on the change now for prize pools. Venues encouraged to do that. Tournament 33 pros, 35 amateurs. Yeah, so I don't think there's to answer Marcia after now looking, I don't think there's a amount where it uh, changes to where amateur gets more um, than like even if there's
Open.
more amp throwers than open. Um, but it does break down a couple of things where 16 Pro, 27 AM, 37%. And if there's 33 and 35, they get 35%. Yeah, I don't see a spot, but I do think that it keeps their percentage higher the lower the amateurs are compared to the open
The
division.
lower
But
the amount of amateurs.
correct.
Right. Which will probably be good for amateurs who travel to tournaments because those numbers are likely to be lower with people trying to increase their classification. Or not necessarily trying to, just happen to.
So, like if they get, because they automatically get 25%, but as they get more throwers, they get a bump. Um, so if let's say it's 10 out of 50 throwers, they would get 29%. So that's probably roughly about what it'll be, is my guess.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, but I was trying to figure out the nationals and what's happens for the judges. They do a national needs a designated head judge that is not participating in the event, and then
Also hard.
needs a designated experienced bracket manager that is also not participating in the event. But
Which was our biggest hurdle and why we're not doing Throw Pros is not hosted.
yeah, that was our hurdle. We can't afford to pay for a. I mean, we already paid for a head judge, and then to pay for somebody to run the brackets also just didn't.
Yeah, it just
Not
takes away from the money going into the tournament that's being paid out to the throwers. So
yeah,
which
and I
has always
mean,
been our goal to have, the highest percentage payouts we could, while still covering the expenses.
yeah,
So
we could have paid out like 5 or 6 thousand more dollars last year too if they would have had the subscription thing.
oh man,
That would have been
yeah,
nice.
yeah, which I was considering doing this time around, but I mean our league numbers, there was an odd amount of people who didn't decide to throw again this season, or they wanted to take a season off. For us, some of them,
Even with
two of them were
even with the
for
rules?
legitimate reasons. Like their daughter had a baby significantly early term, so they're going to be traveling back and forth to out of state quite often. So
Yeah,
that's a legitimate reason. But there were a few that they just were kind of annoyed with the constant change, I think, um, and it's like, hey, this change made it a lot easier.
yeah.
You know, no 15 feet, and we're throwing at giant looking bullseyes on the outside now because of that pin line instead of the thick black line.
Oh,
But
you know what? I bet they don't update the leaderboard until next Sunday.
because the last one was week 0,
Yeah, I guess it counted as week 0, even though
people
I
did do
mean,
week 1.
even though 450, 650, even though over 1,000 people have thrown already, 1,500, 1,450, yeah, 1,500 people threw already. So
I hope that there's a large amount of people who are throwing week 1 this week.
I mean,
Otherwise,
there were.
otherwise we've taken another drastic dip in total league members.
I mean, there's definitely going to be some, but
Sure,
I don't know
sure.
about how many. How many did were there previous?
The last number from whenever I looked, which I couldn't tell you exactly when that was somewhere in the ballpark of like 3 to 3,500.
All right, let's see.
What is? Are you checking fall?
Yeah, I'm looking for people that played all their games though. None of these 4 matches. And I got bad news for you.
What's that?
the lowest. I mean, I'll just add 3 people to 4 people to this page. 5 people, 6 people. I would say it's around 2,500.
Fall 2024 was 2,500.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it was,
mean, there's more than that threw, but there's a lot of 16 games, 17 games. I mean, people that actually threw, it's like 2,600. Maybe there's an extra 100 people.
wow. That's a
Yeah,
big old drop.
yeah. But I mean,
Big
there's
drop.
like it is week 0, so there could be another week of
Yeah,
a
that's what I'm
thousand.
saying. I'm hoping in my head I was thinking hopefully there's about 1,500 people who are throwing week 1 this week.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see. That could be why it's not updated though. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Is that they're not updating it because they're counting that as week 0. But yeah, that was season 4 of 2024 that I just looked at.
Very very true. Jimmy did, remind that large part of the Midwest especially was hit with the winter storms
Yeah,
this week. So that's a good
if
sign.
your league was
That's a
waiting,
good
if
sign.
your league was waiting until this weekend or the one that just passed rather, then yeah, there were probably a good amount of people that couldn't make it. So hopefully that makes up a decent chunk as well. But yeah, I think it'll be close to the same amount, not really a jump in unretired people coming back.
Yeah,
But
that's interesting. I will be excited to see how many of those um, individuals see, like to see if this change in rules will bring back a massive amount of people, but I don't necessarily think that it'll bring back a huge number.
yeah,
Be some,
haven't
but
haven't seen them throwing yet. But I think there'll probably be a handful,
yeah,
probably the same handful that stopped throwing because of the new rules again.
for sure.
So
What about everything? You when you did your marathon, you just did hatchet, right? Or did you guys
yeah, I haven't.
do
I
anything
threw
else?
1 week of knives on Wednesday, but yeah, otherwise I have only thrown hatchet.
Yeah, we threw knives. Did okay.
I did not.
I'm gonna probably be. I think I already talked about that. I think I'm gonna switch to Highlanders. I think I'd like to
Sounds
find.
awful.
I'd like to find another set of Highlanders.
Uh, I think I have a set.
That you're not gonna use.
I'm never gonna use them.
Okay.
Oh look,
Bring them. Yeah, look and bring them this weekend if so.
Jimmy, that was the whole first 25 minutes was the rating spikes and dips. That's all we talked about. You missed it. Yeah,
Um,
Sam. I don't see a lot of people coming out of retirement.
no. Um,
Maybe
through Big Axe 2 for the first time. I haven't thrown Big Axe since shit
chaos.
November.
Oh no, wait. Yeah, chaos. No.
No. I threw
Axe play.
no the end of league.
I don't know.
It's
I haven't.
about a month. End of fall league was the last time. But my gosh, I feel it today.
Mm,
Wrist and I could tell that I haven't thrown Big Axe in a little bit. So
yeah,
did
yeah.
okay.
I haven't. I don't know.
Did just fine. But
Probably not the best thing to do is never throw, but I should do it.
yeah, we almost ran. We ran very slim on boards. That was the one thing I wasn't prepared for starting league this week was that like had there been no rule change, um, I most of my boards, like kill shot boards, still had like the old 2024 still on there, and so I would have had to not change a ton of boards. Like, they were still in good enough shape
Yeah.
that I could have used them. But trying to sand them off on used boards and draw new ones was not going to work incredibly well. So the amount of boards that I had last week were like, shoot, we're going to run pretty close if I'm going to have to change out all these kill shot boards and these centers. And luckily Elm City pulled through and got them on time. Almost didn't think I was going to get them for the weekend. So we had enough for league, but was afraid that I wouldn't have enough for the weekend if the snow hit. And luckily we did. We got it. They got it here. It was the first time I had boards that came in frozen, though.
Oh yeah,
So,
I've only had it a few times, but
yeah, they the guy who dropped them off said that they arrived the previous day and that they left them on the. They just left them in like a. Oh shoot! What do you call it? Like a non HVAC area, and so they came snow covered, and then like the top layer for sure was pretty solid until they sat in a warm room all day. So
Sam for sure. I mean,
we already saw 3 times as many 64s in week 0 than we had all year last year.
yeah. I mean, I will admit I was disappointed. I did not throw one in the marathon until week 8. But I had a couple of 63s and
I don't think they will have the same amount as we had in the past because of the kill shots.
yeah, because of the kills, I think you'll see more 63s.
Yeah, there'll be more 63s and 62s, but I think that we'll probably be able to go back to those 63s and 62s and determine that, like, those would have been 64s in 2023 with that full 8-point. So.
Yeah, I think I would have had 2 or 3 if it was old rules or old kill. Because I had several perfect bull games, but I would hit 1-7, and then I did have a couple of 63s where I threw a 5 on like throw 1.
I just realized that Sam said that he was surprised to only see 3 on the leaderboard. I've seen more than 3 people post pictures saying they got a 64.
Well, but they're marathons, so you can't see them on the leaderboard.
Very true.
Until they fix it, I guess. Until they get to that week.
Right. That makes sense.
So if somebody did have one, it wouldn't show up. But yeah, right now there are only 3. Just Grant Cram, who just ordered a stencil. Thank you, Grant. And Neil had one, and Kevin Green, an amateur already with a 64. An amateur, Kevin. Kevin's rating, although he threw a 64, is 474.
That something don't seem right there.
Well, it's because he did not throw in 2025, it looks like.
2024?
2024, I mean. Let me see. Oh, no, he did. But they were rec. Oh, no, he had some officials. But he didn't have an official season 3 or 4, so I don't know what they did for stats.
Yeah, it just happened like 3 hours and 47 minutes ago. Money. She always wants to put shit in my hair, and I was like, I told her no because I had to come back to the venue and I was gonna try and get some work done, but
Caleb, the best way to see rating is to go to axthrowing.org and don't click on any venues, just click players. And if you're already on a venue, click venues.
There we go.
go to the top and hit WATL, or sometimes that doesn't pop up, type in World Axe Throwing League, click on that, and then click players.
Yeah, now
but that's the best way
it's a
to see.
button, so it always shows up. The
Okay. Yeah. So,
waddle thing.
well, I still every now and then it won't for mine, like some cache version or something. But
Oh yeah,
yeah, if you hit players, you can see it. If you do it on mobile, it'll just crash over and over again on an iPhone.
I was
Well,
gonna
I did
say
it
I
on
think
Chrome too, so I don't know if it's as of like 2 3 days ago. It just crashes. Try it on your phone right now.
try to get to the waddle.
Go to axsewing.org and
Okay,
then click on players.
players,
I'll show you what mine does.
and what am I? It's already up.
All right, players. So it'll do this for a second, and then if I try to scroll, it just dies,
Oh yeah, so
and then it'll
if I do
reload,
scroll, I have to
and then
I have to
it just
actually
crashes.
stop, and it does take a couple seconds, but it loads.
Mine eventually just gives up, and it says, "Hey,
Yeah,
sorry about it, but a problem repeatedly occurred."
it took like 10 seconds for it to load, but yeah, and then if I click page two, it takes forever to go to page two.
Tyler through league.
The only reason I can think that it's doing that is that is pulling probably every single player who exists in the
Yeah, but on the
database
first page, it should only have 50. So I don't
because
know
there's
why it.
973 pages.
Oh, well, let's see. It looks like rating is
That's
working
40.
pretty good tonight,
That's 48,000
people.
entries it's
Yeah.
trying to pull.
Um, all right. Well, let's see how Tyler did tonight because he just got done. It looks like they're in league because he's on the ratings page now at 9 something. All right.
Tyler's
High score is 63, 7 for 8 on kills, 4 and 0. Ooh,
any twos or threes?
only 4 5s. Not bad. Just won a game. 77% bulls.
That's
That
pretty
kill
good.
really hurt him. Would have put him at a 62 average, but instead he's at a 60. Or I guess it could have put him at a 61 something if he hit a 7 instead of an 8. But
No 64s though.
no 64. No. But that means that there's probably. Oh, dang it. Go back to that. Click Tyler.
Did he throw any 62s or threes that would have been for 64s?
I mean, it seems like it because he only had 4 5s.
4 5s,
So,
yeah.
I mean, I guess he could have had one legitimately in every game, but chances are no.
Nah, they were probably all four in game one.
Yeah, and then he figured it out. I was trying to see who else. All right, let's see. Justin Reese. Ooh, 1 loss. 6 for 8 on kills.
Yeah, but his one loss was probably to Tyler.
Yeah, but it didn't put him over the 900. It kept him at 872. And maybe it was Tyler. I don't know. I mean, I really could dive into it.
And if it was, oh, I thought you were diving into it. That's why I was waiting. But
Nah,
if
I don't care.
if it was a loss to Tyler, and let's say what if it was like a 63 to 62, he would have been better to throw like a 20.
For rating, yes.
If he was going to
For
lose.
average, absolutely not.
Yeah, because the rating doesn't work. So
Uh, 2025 official season 1 Monday. Get Lucas to pro big. That's one of his seasons. I don't know what's going
that's
on
one of
there.
Lucas's or one of Tyler's seasons.
Yeah, it's one of Tyler's seasons.
Can you set it up to run as a desktop site?
I can't get it to even load long enough to do it.
Yeah, Christopher, I don't even want to talk about your rating stuff
Yeah,
because
Tyler's
whenever I look at my stuff and I heard about what you did last week, I was angry.
Tyler's second game, he threw a 7 on throw 9,
Good
so he
job.
would have had a 64. And then 2 5s the next game. Oh, and then the last game too, he threw another 63, and he threw a 7 on throw 10. and Justin missed his kill completely, so he won 63-56. They both hit all the bulls, and Justin hit a kill on throw 5.
I could see that. I could see people splitting the kills up. But
I mean, if you want, but I'm never going to
I
do it in a tournament, so I don't really care.
I still just throw it on 9 and 10 because that's how it's going to be.
Yeah. Unless it's no longer allowed on 9,
Yeah.
then whatever.
All right.
Matthew, I
So
do need to get a haircut. But, all right.
we,
Speaking of Tyler and Justin, they were throwing tonight at Axe House Cleveland.
yeah, that's what I was going to jump into.
Yeah, we have a tournament there coming up.
End of the month.
2 weeks. Yeah.
First Throw Pros tournament of the year.
That's right. First Throw Pros tournament of the year. For those that are interested, I will drop a link while Kyle kind of explains what's going on.
Yeah, so
I'll
it's
pull up the-
Rock and Roll City Rampage is the name of the tournament. And it is at Axe House Cleveland. Potentially could be one of the last events that they have. We are all fingers crossed that it's not, but discussions with the landlord are ongoing. So hopefully they all go as we all want them to, and they go really well. And our favorite head judge and favorite one of our favorite makers venues
Yep.
has more events than this one in 2 weeks. So
Yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna do 4 disciplines. We're gonna do hatchet, knives, big axe, and duels.
Yep.
None of that knife duel stuff. But yeah, we're gonna do them a little differently than normal, than your typical tournament. So hatchet and knives, we're gonna try a different style target. And it's going to look, well, it's going to be drawn with something like this.
yep, thus it's a square rectangle based target.
Yep. So there'll be a line across this center here. We'll use this line and this line to do it. So there's a line all the way across. Goal is to break the top, the middle, and the bottom. And that'll be worth 5 points. But we're going to do a different type of scoring. So it'll actually be if I land mine perfect, I get a full 5, and Kyle hits a knot and drops, I'll just get 1 point.
Yep.
So,
So whoever wins the throw will get
we'll get a point. Correct. And it'll be the first person to get to 7 and win by 2.
Yep. It keeps
So,
keeps the scoring close, so that
yeah.
There's no runaway victories, not being capable of coming back in the event. So that'll be interesting to see.
Never out of reach. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then knife is going to be very similar, except for you're going to throw all 3 knives from 1 spin and aiming for one of the targets. They are in order, so there's 5 of those on the board. And basically, whoever has the most points out of those 3 knives will get the point. And then back to 2 spin, same thing. Whoever has the most points will get 1 point, etc. But yeah, we'll see how it goes with that. And then for big axe and duels, we're going to do that a little differently as well. So we're going to use the same concept as hatchet currently, where you have to move around. So bullseyes are basically going to close out, so that there's not a bunch of discussion about where you're going to throw them. We're also going to implement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to have to follow a certain order just so we don't get it out of order.
The reason
And
for that is because we are using Scoreholio for the
oh yeah,
tournament.
so we won't be able to look back and look at certain throws unless we can see if we know what throw you were on.
Yeah.
So that'll also be part of it, but also just to move things along and not have a bunch of decision making to happen. It'll be very easy. What throw are we on? Two. We're aiming at the center. Throw three. We're aiming at bottom right.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So
uh,
if you are going or planning to go to the tournament, and you want to um, see or maintain stats throughout the weekend, Scoreholio has a very cost effective um, app that you can download it for free. You can watch the tournament for free in terms of seeing the bracket. But if you want to see and maintain stats, you will have to have a membership to Scoreholio. It's like $1.99 a month. So
um, did did anybody, just so anybody knows, if you do want to follow along, if you're not able to make it or whatever, you can actually, a really cool feature is you can subscribe to people.
yep,
You can go on to the tournament page and subscribe to somebody so you'll know and get a notification, a text notification, or a push notification through the app. I can't remember, but you'll get
push.
a notification when that person gets called to a lane, which is super cool.
And when they finish their game,
Yeah,
it'll
you'll get a
send the
score
results
update
of their game. Yeah.
when it's over. So you can subscribe to people, which I think would be really cool to have implemented into an axe throwing app.
Yep.
Um, that would be awesome. There's also like 5 pre-built-in streaming um, options that already have
Makes it really
scores,
cool.
has averages per throw, averages per game, all these different stats that just automatically populate based on who's throwing. So that's really cool. Um, yeah, so
We gonna do that?
yeah, huh?
We gonna do that?
Mm, that doesn't sound fun. I didn't really want to, but I mean, we could.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, are you
maybe.
driving?
Yeah. Well,
If
in
you're
in
driving,
in theory, yes. Just
what would be not in theory?
if if whatever this next winter storm dumps a bunch of bullshit on us.
That's going to be, it's not a thing. Don't worry about that one. Scoreholio also will only call matches in the correct order, which is cool.
Yeah, yeah. It
Uh,
realistically doesn't require anybody to do anything. It requires you to have a person to call the games, so people know where to go. That's it.
I guess, but not really because you get a text notification as well when it's time. So you don't even need to call them. You just have to
the
click a button.
The only reason I would still want to have somebody call the games is because that would require everybody to pay attention to their phones.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying for our event that
Yeah,
we would do that, but I'm just saying it basically runs itself. So it's not really there.
snow.
Uh,
We had like 9 inches of snow, but total, but which I never really care about snow. It was the ice. We got just over like 3/4 of an inch of ice over a 2 day period, and so it snowed. We got massive amount of ice on top of that, and then it stayed cold for a few days, and then we got like 4 more inches of snow on top of that. So the ice was the big thing here. Lots of down trees, lots of people without a power for 5 to 6 days. So
we didn't get that much, but we got, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches or something. But it all melted yesterday for the most part.
yeah. I mean, a lot of it's melted here. Side roads are still not perfect in a lot of places, but yeah, it'll be gone for
Uh,
probably a day or two, and then that next one will dump. So,
no, it's not coming.
oh, here's a good question. What are you betting tonight?
What am I betting tonight? I think I'm gonna go with I think I'm going Vikings -3.
Ooh, it changed. It was 2.5.
It is. I mean, you can alt it, but I'll take the 3 just in case. But yeah, I
It's
think that's what I'm going to
Vikings
take.
Rams. I don't
I
know. I
got,
think
I
it's
got, I lost a significant amount of money last night on that Neil
on Saquon's. Yeah.
because he lost 4 yards with that Neil, and I had him to get
You
70 yards, and
you
he got
lost a
66.
significant amount of money, or you did not
Yeah.
win. You lost the potential
Well,
to win a significant
yeah,
amount of money. Okay.
potential to win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
but like I had a parlay that had him to have 70 yards, and he got 66, but he got 70 literally the play before. So he ran for the 4 yards, got exactly 70. So I was good. I was good. And then he kneeled the next play for no reason, and that cost it. That's a negative yards. So
Yeah.
um, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Tonight's
know
game
if
will
I
be
can.
interesting.
You see that?
A little bit. I can just see like me reflected in it a lot, but
No.
now I could probably see it
How
better
about that?
if I looked at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jaden Daniels and then Bucky Irving. He got his yards in the second half. He went off at the beginning of the second half. But yeah, Jaden Daniels right there. Just he
Yeah.
hit it. I was like, it's good.
Oh, I thought you
Uh,
were referring to Saquon's.
no, no, not Saquon's. No, Saquon hit it. He had already hit his 100 for me, so I
Yeah,
was
I know
good.
a lot of people's
I'm
parlays were
sure.
screwed up for Saquon touchdown anytime
Yeah,
because he
because
would
he
have
would
had a
have scored
touchdown
there.
easy.
And but I respect him going down. Like I think it just proves he's being a team player, but also he's thinking of himself too because like he doesn't get anything for scoring the touchdown, right? But if he
Right.
hurts himself while he's running, gets tackled and hurts himself, or just
He
trips, or
what
I
yeah
mean,
what he said in that post game interview is like, what if I keep going and I pull something, or like what if one of my teammates are trying to get downfield to help
and they
me
get hurt,
and they get
yeah,
hurt, like he's like, I just going down.
yeah. There's so many things that could have
But
happened,
I
and
do
he
agree
ends up
with
just
Yosh.
potential.
It'll be interesting to see if
He's fine. It was one game, one game. He'll be
yeah,
fine.
but he said he saw ghosts in New York too with the
Ah,
Jets.
bright light. He's gonna be fine. He's
I
gonna
don't
show
know.
up with the bright
I
lights.
hope so, cause I do like Kevin O'Connell up there. I think he's a good coach. So we'll see. Is
But
there's
yeah,
just one
so
game tonight though, right?
yeah, just one.
Just the
It's the
one.
last
Yeah.
one.
And that game is Vikings and Rams, and it's in Arizona because of the wildfires, which
Correct.
brings me to ask if Neil is still in here. Is Neil still watching?
I don't know. I saw him post a picture the other day where he could like see the glow
Yeah. Well, I mean,
of the
I'm sure
fire
he
or
could
something on his way home from
probably
work.
see the darn fires. I mean, he's right in the mix.
Maybe.
Hopefully everything is okay out there with Neil and anybody who's there's Aaron. Hopefully
Aaron's on.
anybody from the Mighty Axe crew that's out there. Hopefully
Yeah, I
everything
hope
is
everybody's
good.
good.
So I bet it has.
And ooh,
Yeah, neutralish field. At least it's a easy place to fly to, fairly cost effective place to fly to.
yeah. Um. All right. Well, uh, earlier I don't think we got the answer, but I saw that Raymond, you still in here? Snyder.
Oh yeah, I did see that too. I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, I'm planning on going. I was kind of waiting for some confirmation about seating, and I haven't gotten it yet exactly, but I don't know if rating is going to be used for seating um, until it is fully fleshed out. So just waiting to see.
You're talking about Augusta.
Yep,
Yeah.
and I'm also, I mean, even more so Arizona.
Yeah,
I mean,
planning to
Augusta, I
go.
probably still go either way. just because it's not as far and I can drive. But um, Arizona is definitely still up in the air because I'm not willing to commit to spending over $1,000 to get there and not able to, and have another 900 rated thrower first round
Sure.
or somebody that should be rated 900, like to have another top thrower first round. So it is about 6 hours, Yosh. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna wait a little closer for Arizona. I have flights just in case, but
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know
I need to do that too. Probably do that tomorrow.
if I'm planning on going, then I need to actually practice a little bit because there's no point in going out there if I'm not going to do that. So we'll see. I legit haven't thrown my big axe in like 3 months, 4 months, maybe. And
No,
then yeah, I haven't thrown it since whatever the last tournament was.
the last tournament was tournament of the
Not
full
amateur.
moon,
Yeah, so full moon. Whenever that was the
end of
last time I threw
October,
my big axe. Yeah. So November, December, January, something.
and it'll be
So
end of February.
and it'll be end
Oh
of
no, it'll
February.
be no, it'll be this week.
Oh yeah, I'll get to throw it this week. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'd like to actually throw it before I go to Augusta as well. So we'll see.
So Hagen was supposed to come and do, or he said he wanted to try to come up this week. He messaged me this morning. Actually, it was last night, and I missed it. But then he shared another message with me this morning, and I saw it. He said he sprained his wrist.
Oh my gosh, playing in the snow.
That's what I was gonna ask.
That's got to be
That's what
it.
I'm gonna ask right now.
Hagen, are you on here? I bet he's watching. Hagen, Hagen. He might not be. He liked the that we were gonna go live though, so I thought he might be on here.
Yeah, and he wasn't. Just waiting for him to respond at the moment. Yes,
Yeah, we'll see.
he
Um,
might be in bed already.
no, not that kid.
Nah, he's eating chicken
All right.
tenders.
Anybody else have anything to that they'd like us to talk about? Because I think that was mostly it. We just wanted to talk about the rating system a little bit, and then
Yeah, so if you came in late and didn't get to hear that conversation, it's almost all at the beginning. So
yeah, you can go back and watch the replay. But rating so far has not proved to be accurate. I guess is the best
yeah,
word.
accurate or function properly
Yeah.
or really being able
Uh,
to understand like how it's intended to function either.
yeah, and
Reading the
I think
2025 rules won't help just figure out how the rating is going to function either.
2025 rules.
Yeah.
They're just an easier, much easier version of the 2024 rules. Yes. That's really about it. Um, there. Oh, what was I gonna look up?
That's not necessarily true, Logan. If you go over 550 and you become a pro, you're stuck at pro forever.
Yeah, but I don't think he's gonna throw another tournament or another league this season, and so he might be right. I think he ended up he ended up losing to Adam in week 8, which dropped him to 576, and he was at 580 something. So he's going to be on the threshold to where I think he can pick. So I think he'll get to pick to stay AM.
But if you pick to stay pro, you're stuck at pro forever.
Yeah, that's why I think he'll choose to not pick that. It's actually, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that that's a question that I would like to ask, and I need to ask more important people than myself.
What's that?
Like, what happens? Are we going to run out of amateur people?
Yeah.
Because I mean, if we
I
get to
mean,
the
if
point where
it's planned to stick at this rule set for a while, in theory, you won't necessarily run out of amateur people. But we'll probably run out of amateurs traveling to events.
you will, that's more so what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 900 and well, there's 35 pages of throwers or something like that. I said 973 because I'm on the ratings page, and like you said, it brings up every single person to ever throw ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you know, we'll run out of the people that are willing to travel, which is essentially the same. I mean, you can't have an amateur championship if there's only, you know, 30 people that are willing to go.
Well, you can. It's just a 30-person tournament. And then is it worth going unless you're adding in a bunch of money to the prize pool? Because a 30-person tournament, I mean, if it's all 30 people in one tournament, could be good depending on your entry fee. But
Maybe, but unlikely. Ooh, I just looked up Hayden. Hayden is an amateur at 558. I just saw his name when I was scrolling. He could have had the chance. He had the chance to declare pro. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I do feel bad for the people that are on the leaderboard that are amateurs, that are like in the top 128. I mean, I know that we're only one weekend, but we've got one,
I'd try
two,
everything
three,
you could
four,
to. Well, I guess you really can't change now because
five,
you've
six,
thrown
seven,
under
eight,
the rule
9,
set. But
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
I guess you could maybe. I mean, maybe
18,
they would let you
19.
change if you were gonna throw a marathon and make that your official season.
No,
No.
can't change it till season 2. There's currently 30 amateurs in the top 128. Now, that's not a great, it's only week 1, and a bunch of people probably have not thrown, but still 30 out of 128. And there's another 10 of them in the top 150. So there's 40 in the top 150.
Nice.
So yeah, so that's like 25%, over 25% of the throwers are AM,
Nice.
which all of them probably are going to get out of. Yeah. Um, Even with the 100-point bonus, Jimmy, everybody got it that through season 3 or 4 as an advanced thrower. Yeah, John, I think Hayden should have been denied pro status. Still don't under the pros and cons of staying AM or pro. It really is. I mean, it comes down to the person. I mean, there's not really. I mean, there's no like huge pro to being a pro. The only difference really is that you have to be a pro in Hatchet to get the opportunity to qualify for Worlds.
That's the only pro.
Yeah, that's the only difference, really. So you can throw as an AM for the entirety of the year. You just won't ever earn circuit points unless you throw in a open tournament as well to earn points towards Worlds. So you can try to stay in amateur, but also it's not up to you. So like if you throw as an amateur and you get too many points in your rating, then you could halfway through the year be forced to throw as a pro. Well, I mean the rules are essentially the same, Logan. Like there's no point in aiming at the same target again
You know,
as an amateur.
one thing that I think that they should consider doing, and that's probably going to be a very unpopular opinion.
I already don't like it.
I don't see why you wouldn't like it
I
because it
don't.
won't
I
affect
don't
you.
care.
Is that so? When we went to 2024 rules for pro, it was is what it is now, top 128. But there was no longer a kill shot requirement. Now that
Yeah,
they made it easier, they should have put the kill shot requirement back on for pro league
they could have, but
and
it's.
for that pro qualification.
I would have been okay with it, obviously, if they weren't doing the rating thing
If ratings
because
weren't based on wins and losses.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, because if it really comes down to it, there's a lot of games like in the marathon where I didn't need to go for kill.
I mean, realistically, we never need to go for kills in leagues. Unless it's for a win-loss, I guess. But
Yeah, like
so you're still not going
there,
100% kills?
I did. I went
That's
for
what I thought.
56. How dare you?
That's what I was going to say. But when
How
I was
dare
just clicking through the leaderboard and I saw a lot of 0 kills thrown. So
Yeah, there's definitely that. I mean, just looking down the thing, the top 8 on the leaderboard all went for all 8. The next two, one of them went for 7, one of them went for 3. That's Sebastian, weirdo.
same.
Sebastian, why would you go for 3 out of 3? And you hit them all, so why wouldn't you have just kept going for them? What a loser. Um, 8, 8, 5, 8, 0. Josh. Sebastian and Josh, what were y'all holding hands in the no kill club? Come on. Okay, Grant decided. I think he threw a 64 the first week. Yep, and he only went for 6. I don't know. That seems weird. Um, Death Bear 6 out of 7. I don't know, just go for the 8, but Darren Bartholomew only 1. I don't know. Yeah, there's some weird ones. I mean, I guess some people are going to take the rating very serious and take it at face value, so they're going to try to win every game. Like Kevin Green, you can't throw a 64 and only go for 4 kills. Come on.
Only one for kills, essentially, I guess, if he had a chance for 64.
Yeah, but just go for all of them. Come on.
I mean, I don't know that that's the case, but that's what it sounds like with maybe some who aren't throwing all kills.
It sounds like all right. If you hit 3 out of 4, well, I guess now that there's 7, that's not the case. So, I, but basically, you're just as well off hitting 3 out of 4 kills as you are hitting 4 bulls. 3 times
Realistically,
8, 24. 6 times 4, 24. I mean, just do it. Don't be scared. Wall drop, who I think took a little bit of a break from throwing, but he's back, so maybe that's our first retired thrower, maybe to make a comeback there. He only went for 5 though,
I don't know.
so
Sam Arias may be able to comment on this one. I feel like JT was going to come back and throw.
he
Maybe.
talked about it. Oh, cheese! Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
Jeff shit
I saw that too. Amateur.
0 for 0. Oh, what was going on at Jersey Axe House? I'm gonna send them a message right now, all of them in a group chat. I'm about to watch this. I'm about to ask them. Y'all scared of kill shots or what? Nah, I'm not. I'm actually scared too because I'm gonna play one of them and I'm gonna miss a kill and they're gonna hit it and they're gonna be like, "Now who's scared of kill shots?" So nah, I changed my mind. But just know I'm thinking it.
All right. Anything else you guys want to chat about?
That's it. Yeah, that is unfortunate, Sam. I agree. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm
Not.
gonna try to eat some food before I watch the football game.
All right, we'll give it
And
a couple seconds.
I gotta finish
And
packing these stencils. Oh, if anybody wants a stencil,
yeah,
please
get
order it now.
chickentendergang.com. Get your
Yeah.
stencils.
Yeah, I'm
Or you can
working
just go to
on.
the discussion page. He posted a
Yeah,
link in the
I mean,
discussion page too.
I can post a link right here. Just 2 seconds. Oh, product.
What's your biggest hot take? That the rating system doesn't function at all.
It functions. I just don't
And
know if it's like
correctly.
correctly. Yeah, but it
Which Sam
functions.
can also confirm that I brought that point up in the owners meeting in
Yeah.
December that the math
And,
doesn't math correctly. The notches on the stencil itself.
yeah, and there's a nice video if you go to the discussion group, so
It's
you
okay
can
video.
see how to do it. Well, I mean, it's a video.
Yeah. Non-waddle.
I don't know what it's like. He's need fodder his 365 posts.
Did you guys just completely forget that you went to the Michigan tournament? Jesus.
Who?
Tyler also said Big X. Big X is not great when you haven't thrown since Indiana. I'm like, you threw in Michigan after that. Well, that's not going to happen, Logan. Sorry.
Um, what's up, man?
He's need fodder his
Yeah,
365 point.
I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't decode it.
Allison, can you
Can
make
Hey
American
Sam, can you
English your
translate?
post?
Sam, can you translate that for us?
Do you have
Do
a way
I
to
have a
count
way?
total venues?
No, not active venues. No.
No, I don't. I don't know how active their affiliate list is either. I don't know if that's regularly updates or not, but I mean, I know there's still a ton of venues out there. I just think that there's a lot that have gone unaffiliated. If you want to count out, calculate WATL affiliated venues.
So I never have seen that word before, but
Fodder.
the internet tells me that it's food, especially dried hay or feed for cattle. So Sam needs some dry hay.
No, there's I've heard that used before.
Hey, I'm just telling you what the Oxford Dictionary tells me.
Well, that's probably gonna have
Something fed to domestic animals, especially coarse food for cattle, horses, or sheep. I don't, I don't know. I had to Google it, so.
Yeah, Allison's right there. I do think that I've seen 3 Texas venues that are closing.
Oh, I saw one that went IETF actually.
Oh yeah.
Um, Bury the Hatchet in North Carolina. Not like Bury, but Beary.
Who was that
Hold
one?
on,
That's
I'm trying to remember.
that one is
In New Bern, it's that he hasn't been active in a
no,
while.
I can't think of his name.
I thought he might have sold it actually,
He may have. Gosh, I
but
can't think
but
of what
yeah, I
his
was
name is.
surprised to see it went IETF today.
Valco.
Oh, I now have decoded what she meant. Sam needs more stuff for his hot takes that he does, that he's been doing every morning.
Ah,
Um, I have some, but I can't think of them right now. So Mason,
dang.
settle down.
That is,
Yeah,
that's good there.
they're happening. Yeah, but all right. Well, I'm gonna hop off here.
Whose nuggets the best?
Uh, like has to be fast food. I mean, I guess like quality of chicken, you got to go Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, quality chicken. Oh man, they brought back that spicy grilled, the spicy grilled deluxe or whatever at Chick Fil A.
I
The
don't do anything deluxe.
No, I don't. I don't either. I tore the shit out of it, and literally go in the first day that it was available to go or to get. I ordered it, and it's the only sandwich on their menu that you couldn't that didn't automatically come with pickles, and you couldn't put pickles on it. So when I ordered in the app and I got to the drive-thru, I had to ask the kid, and he could do it on the back end, and he fixed it. But like I removed everything from that sandwich. The bun, changed the bun to the normal bun instead of their multi-grain bullshit bun. Took the tomatoes and lettuce off, and put normal, just regular American cheese and pickles with that grilled spicy chicken. Worth it. It was very good.
Yeah.
I wish they did the nuggets that way. If they would do the nuggets as well that way.
Do what? Grill?
Like because they have the normal grilled sandwich and the grilled nuggets. I wish they would do when they do the spicy grilled that they would also do the spicy nugs.
Oh. Um, I have before Kyle ends the stream in 5 seconds. Um, hot take that Big X should move closer so that more venues can be accommodated if we're gonna, make everything easier. Hot take.
There you go.
12-foot Big X. And old Bullseye, 2023 Bullseye. 2022, whatever year had the big Bullseye. 2020? 2020.
There you go. All right. Thank you guys for joining us for episode 26. We'll try to be back next week to give you an update on Masters of the Axes and promo Rock and Roll City one last time before we have our first Throw Pros hosted event in Cleveland at the end of the month.
Cleveland. Come to Cleveland.
So, hit up the comments for the link for that, and we'll see you guys next time.
Adios.